Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala Rasulil Kareem, amma ba'd. Alhamdulillah, we are indeed very fortunate. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with a beautiful gift of Iman. And together with that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has explained to us, just like Hamud Sahab explained, how to live in this world also. And how to nurture this Iman, how to look after this Iman, and how to progress ourselves, how to become successful in this world. That you'll find many ahadith where the Sahaba Karam sat in the company of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they learn many things from Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They even ask questions of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But that was more bigger benefit for us, them asking questions of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam to clarify what was the meaning of things. So all these things show that how important it is for us to live a life of consciousness, to understand what is the purpose of our life. In one hadith we find here, when Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam was going on a journey and was sitting on a conveyance. In the olden times, she traveled on camels, she traveled on horses. So Nabi Kareem sallallahu was sitting in front, and in the back, Hazrat Muaz radiallahu anhu was sitting in the back. And Nabi Kareem sallallahu asked Muaz, are you present here? He said, yes, I'm present. Again, Nabi sallallahu asked the second time, Muaz, he said, I'm present. Third time again he said the same thing, he said, I'm present. No, why is this? Why did Nabi sallallahu ask him 3 times? Why did he ask if he is present or not? But he was sitting on the conveyance just behind him, was sitting next to him. This was a special way of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam to draw the attention of a person to understand what he wants to say in front. That's why the Sahaba comes to listen to the words of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to remember the words and relate the hadith as they heard from Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because they were always, the focus was correct. They were alert all the time and understanding what Nabi was telling them. So here also Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam used the same system here also. They made him aware that, look, are you aware? Are you here? Making sure that it must be involved in any other attraction or anything. Mind wasn't distracted to anywhere else, but he must be listen to what I was telling, in other words. A very important thing that I'm telling, in other words. So here Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, after he said if he is present, he is there, then Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam told me, remember one thing, that once a person reads the kalima la ilaha illallah, he believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is no worth to worship besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, believes in the prophethood of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that fire of Jahannam will become haram on him. What a great glad tidings Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave Hazrat Muaz radiallahu ta'ala anhu. After hearing this from Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he heard this, he was so happy. So I said, tell everybody now that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given this instruction, or given this guidance to me, that whoever the kalima will go into Jannat. They won't go into Jannat. Jannat will become haram on them. So imagine what the feeling they had within themselves, that we cannot keep behind some knowledge which Nabi has given to us. Nabi sallallahu replied that don't do that now. Why? Because people will have hopes on this and they won't do action, deeds, amal, they won't worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they won't make ibadat. They'll have hopes, I've got iman now, I want to go to Jannat now, I don't do anything else. So they become complacent, they won't do anything. So because of the fear of that, don't tell them now. So this shows how important it is for us that Allah has given us iman, that iman is so valuable for us, that the iman will take us to Jannat, definitely will take us to Jannat. But when you go to Jannat also, there are stages in Jannat also. Once a person is a Kareem, he's going to go to Jannat definitely. But in Jannat, there are stages in Jannat also at the same time. The more good actions you do, the more higher stages are going to raise in Jannat. So just to think of going to Jannat only and not get higher stages, there is something very selfish. So we've got to try and understand that. We've got to try and understand that we've got to try and work hard to attain more higher stages in Jannat. And everybody's natures are different. They understand different. And they take the meaning differently also sometimes. So here, and we start to explain here, that don't depend only on the iman now. But also do ibadat and acquire higher stages in Jannat also at the same time. So this was a glad tidings given to a mu'min. But at the same time, he must be aware of doing good actions and making good ibadat also at the same time. So here, when Nabi Sallallahu didn't encourage him to tell other people of this, what was the reason for that? The reason was that people won't make any ibadat. At the same time, you'll find another place Nabi Sallallahu says that whatever you hear from me, shahid al-ghaib, whatever who are present, whoever listen from something, give it, pass it over to the people after me. Otherwise, they are instructed, whatever they listen in the comment of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, they pass it over to the next people after that. So yeah, he heard this from Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. At the same time, how is it going to pass it to somebody else now? So that Hazrat Muaz radiallahu anhu never tell anybody this. But just before he passed away, he related this hadith to the people. I explained all my hadiths what I heard from Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. There's one hadith was left behind. What happened said, I leave the world without passing this one command of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to the people. Okay. So you may see how conscious they were. That in other words, from the time when they heard this hadith, till the time he passed away, people were nurtured in such a way that doing a lot of good work and good actions they were doing. They were accustomed to doing good actions so much. Now he told them that hadith, they won't be complacent now. They know the purpose and reason of the hadith. Now they've got to do more actions to get high status in Jannah also at the same time. So when a person has love for somebody, then the person has an attachment for that person, then every small thing is a thing of inspiration for that person always. It comes in another hadith also, Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was sitting by the Sahaba, and all of a sudden he got up and went away somewhere. So for a little while the Sahaba waited for Nabi Karim to come back. When Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam never come back, they were worried, what's happened now? It must have happened that he's gone out somewhere, and his opponents or his enemies, some will hurt him or harm him. He went alone, never go with anybody outside. So they were worried, what must we do? So because of that now, they went out and looked for Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Because their love and attachment for Nabi Karim was so much that they couldn't bear the separation of Nabi Karim for a little while also. A person who loves somebody, they find that they have this type of feeling within themselves. For example, a mother has got a child, and the child is sitting next to the mother, and she doesn't hear the child making any sounds, breathing sounds. Immediately she gets worried. She look up to see why the child is breathing, what's happening. Once she sees the child is breathing well, she'll be satisfied again after that. This happens everywhere. You'll find this situation. Sometimes you'll find somebody loves somebody, for example, and the person is ill, and after a while you see that person's breathing is gone very shallow. He can't hear the breathing. You get worried. He'll go and listen, put his ears near the nose to see if he's breathing or not breathing. You take a tissue to see if he's breathing or not breathing. Why? Because of the love and attachment for that person he's got. In the same manner, also the Sahaba had that feeling and attachment for Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That something must happen to him, where is he going, what happened? The same manner it comes in the hadith also, that Aisha radiallahu says, one day Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was reading namaz, and he made a very long sajda in namaz he made. I got very worried, frightened, what's happening? I mean, now it catch the feet of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and I saw that he's still alive. So she got that satisfaction after that. So these are where people got contact with somebody, love with somebody, then they go to this extent, even a little bit harm takes place, a little bit separation, they feel hurt, they get worried immediately. To solve that anxiety over them must solve that quickly. So they do this type of thing they do. So here, in this situation here also, this is what happened here. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, he also went out to look for Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. They couldn't find him anywhere. So he had got an indication that maybe he may be in this certain orchard. But he couldn't find the gate to go into the orchard, the way to go into the orchard. So he went around and he saw the place from where the outlet of the water is, irrigation water from the orchard. He saw a gap there and he went in from there. When he went inside the orchard, he found Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and he told Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, this is our anxiety that you went away, you don't know where you went, you are worried maybe the enemy never hurt you or harm you, and what happened, because we were all very worried. And then look at Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, how kind Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was now. He saw that Sahaba was very, a lot of worry they had in them, a lot of fear they had in them, because of the love for Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu that go and tell the people the glad tidings that those people who read the kalima, who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and think me to be the Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to be the servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fire of Jahannam will not, he won't go into fire of Jahannam. Fire of Jahannam will come haram on that person. So he got very, very happy, he got that now I was going to tell everybody this message to everybody that Nabi said this. But now who will believe him? If it's true or not true. So as a sign, Nabi Karim Sallallahu gave him his shoes also. He took the shoes worth now that people know that he came from Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and this message is brought. But when he left, came out of the orchard on the way, he was walking very fast to tell the people this message, and on the way he met Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala. Umar radiallahu ta'ala asked him, where are you going, Abu Hurairah? You're going so fast, what's happening? He said, I've got a message from Nabi Karim to pass to the Sahaba. So what's that message? The message is that the person who brings Iman on Allah and His Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, fire of Jahannam will not touch him. When he heard this, immediately Umar got saying that, are you sure Nabi Sallallahu told you this? He said, yes. He said, what is behind? He said, it's the shoes of Nabi Karim as a sign. Umar hit him on his chest so much that he fell down. And he got up and go back to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. When he was going back, Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was worried. With tears in his eyes, what must I do now? And Umar was walking behind him. And when he reached the orchard, he told Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, this is what happened. And just then, as Umar came inside. And he asked Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, did you send Hazrat Hurairah with this message? He said, yes, I sent the message. Did you give me your shoes also as a sign? Yes, I did also. I told Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, don't do like that. Why? Because the people will have hopes on this, on the Iman, on the Kalima they read, and they won't do any good actions after that. Nabi Sallallahu said, definitely what you say is correct. He said, don't tell anybody now anything. So this shows that Nabi Sallallahu agreed to that once a person becomes complacent and he knows that I'm going to go to Jannat, I don't do any good actions now, then that is a wrong attitude, completely wrong attitude that is. We got to understand that we got to do good actions to nurture our Iman and boost our Iman in such a manner that when you go to Jannat, you will get higher stages in Jannat. It comes to hadith that the ordinary person will go to Jannat, he will get 10 times more than this world. Imagine. And the person do good work, how much more would he get in Jannat? So in this world we try to acquire more, and why not in the Jannat? So it's important that we nurture our Iman with good actions all the time, and Nabi Sallallahu taught us what is good actions, what is good character, what is good manners. Nabi Sallallahu taught us all that, how to fulfill the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how to fulfill the rights of the creation. Nabi Sallallahu taught us all this, taught us everything he taught us. It's our responsibility to learn these things and improve our Iman and go forward in life always. So here you'll find a person's nature is such that a person, some people they take an effect from something, and some people don't take an effect from something. And some will take an effect different, how another person takes an effect when somebody says something. So here we'll find the Sahaba Kiram, look at their condition. Although they were given glad tidings of Jannat, but yet they were very careful how to conduct their lives. Understand? So this we can understand the difference between us and the Sahaba Kiram. As for example, Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam gave him the glad tidings of Ashar Mubashara, the 10 people who go to Jannah will go. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the guarantee is a guarantee which is, there is no lies in that guarantee. It's a confirmed guarantee. It is. In spite of that, what he said, I hope I was a blade of grass, I was a twig, anyone should eat me up. In other words, I will have to give account for what I'm going to do, and the grass, a blade of grass or a twig must give an account anything anyway. So that consciousness was there. I would account for my deeds. So he was always in the lookout to do more good work all the time. So a person's got guarantee from Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, which is complete surety and security it is, yet his condition is such that he never can leave out good work. So what is our condition? Well, our condition was now we see a person read namaz, for example, for 1 month he read namaz, namaz will tell you ula everything. Now he waits now. Then now Jabil Islam will come down and give you some wahi just now. That is our condition. We think we are so pious already now, we don't do anything else after that. It's not like that. We've got to do our good actions, we've got to carry on with our demands of our Iman, we've got to carry on with it all the time. Like Sheikh Sadi Rahmatullah, he writes, I say, rain. How pure and clean is rain? And nobody can take out any faults in the rain at all. And as rain comes down, it falls onto the fields. It will grow vegetable, it will grow flowers, it will grow fruit, it will grow vegetation for us to eat. The same water fall on barren land, it will grow thorns. There is no fault in the water, in the rain. The same way, the same water will fall onto a shell, it will form pearls for you. The same water fall on dirt, it will become dirty. So where the water falls, the recipient of the water, that depends how will benefit from that water. So in the rain, there is no faults in the rain, but where it falls, that's what you're going to see. So here now in the Quran, find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say concerning the Quran, يُضِلُّ بِهِ كَثِيرًا وَيَهْدِي بِهِ كَثِيرًا. The Quran is there, many people is a guide, and many people get astray because of the Quran also. So what does that mean now? The Quran is a guide for everybody, but how the person accepts the Quran, it will depend on him whether he'll get hidayat from it or he will go astray from it. Many people read the Quran to take up objections on the Quran. So how do you get hidayat? And many people read Quran to get hidayat, to get guidance. They get guidance, definitely get guidance. So we could read the Quran with that notion that we could get our guidance from the Quran, and definitely we get guidance. From our Kabin, there was one Buzu whose name was Molana Sahab rahmatullahi alayhi. You should say that when you read the Quran, make an intention, make a dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that where my guidance in the Quran, oh Allah, please give me that guidance. So when you read the Quran, where your guidance, definitely look at guidance from there, and your life will become a better life, inshallah. Another example, Mustakim Songadhwala said, for example, a person who is healthy, but he is a little weak. So what happens now? Hakim Sahab will give him some vitamins, khamira will give him, understand? He'll eat that vitamin, khamira he'll eat, he'll get strength and become healthy again. In the same manner, a person who's got diarrhea, for example, got cholera, for example, you give him the same vitamin you want to give him now, he'll get more worse. He may die also. The khamira is the same for both, but because that person's health is not in that position to digest that vitamin, that khamira, he won't benefit at all. And the healthy person will benefit. So that's how you understand that Quran is such, our guidance from Nabi Karim is such, how you going to absorb it within yourself, that's how you going to benefit from it. So from here we understand, that Hazrat Mu'az radiallahu ta'ala anhu, when he asked Nabi Karim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, please pass over this message of yours to everybody, Nabi Karim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, that the people will have hopes on that and won't do any good work. So that's what Nabi Sallallahu said. In other words, if you're going to give the message to everybody, they'll have hopes on that and don't do any good work. So because of that, just keep hold a little bit at the moment. So yeah, Hazrat Mu'az also said that whatever I was supposed to pass over to the Ummah, I passed them over to the Ummah already. And now I'm leaving the world. So what's happened such that I leave the world without passing this one message of Nabi Karim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and I become a means of committing one guna. And I never listen to the hadith of Nabi Karim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, pass over whatever we learn from to the next generation. So here you got to understand also that certain things find a guna will take you to Jahannam, and really the kalima will take you to Jannat. And a person who makes shirk will go to Jahannam, for example. So different types of things you'll find in ahadith and even the Quran you'll find. Hazrat Mustakim writes that the Shah Sahab rahmatullahi alayhi, he said actually what does this mean? This means the characteristic of the deed of the action you are doing. The characteristic of the action and deed it is, that is being mentioned here. For example, the person has the kalima within himself, that kalima has got the potentiality in it to take you to Jannah, will take you. And you do something else, potentiality in that is that it will take you to Jahannam, punishment because of that. Like for example, the Musa give an example, he says, that now you find, you go to Hakim, for example, in India, he'll give a prescription now, then you go to the shop to go and buy the ingredients. Ingredients are different ingredients you get. He'll tell you to buy this ingredients, and you put it together now, and then that becomes your medication, it becomes. And at the same time, the Hakim will also say that this ingredient has got this benefit, this ingredient has got this benefit in it. So according to that, a person will take the medication because of the benefit, and he'll benefit himself. But at the same time, you'll find that sometimes Hakim Sahab will say, now look, for example, if you eat banana, the banana's characteristic is coldness. And if you eat elaichi, cardamom, the characteristic of that is heat, hot. So now Hakim Sahab will say, look, this is hot, this one's nature is hot, this one's nature is cold. Now if you're going to eat both those things now, what will happen now? You don't know what's going to happen now. Hakim Sahab never said what will happen, what result we to both together. Okay? So that only after you eat it, you'll find the reaction after you know what will happen. So in the same manner here also, for example, you've got red kalima, you've got iman. Iman's characteristic is to take you to Jannat. On the other hand, you'll find the person has got pride in him, a little bit of pride also, he won't go to Jannat. So one side he's got iman, one side you've got pride, you won't go to Jannat. How is he going to work this? To explain this, Musa have given this example, he says here, only after the banana and cardamom go into your stomach, after you find the reaction will happen also. The same manner, if you're going to read the kalima also, and then you do something else, then the reaction of that you only find after you find. On your camera you'll find what the reaction of that now. Whether you go to beneficial or not beneficial, will help you, won't help you, that reaction you only find in your camera you'll find on that. But here Allah Ta'ala, Nabi Sallallahu has mentioned that this will take you to Jannat and this will give you a punishment. So you could understand from there that whatever we do, we would accept the word of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and practice upon it and will be rewarded upon it, that will be rewarded. So according to this, we could understand our life in this world, as we know, as Mustakim said, is very short for us, and we could practice on and acquire and practice on what our Muslims taught us to do. That will take us, give us success in this world. Besides that, no other thing will give us success. Success, only Allah and Nabi Karim can tell us to define what is success. And nobody else. We might think of success or different things, but that's not the actual success. Actual success is what Allah and Nabi told us to do. That is success for us. And we know that now, for example, now we find a new year started, for example, now. Muharram has started now. So what does that mean? What must we do now? We've got to take account of ourselves. One Hazrat Nabi Karim says, if today is not better than yesterday, then you are at a loss. If today is not better than yesterday, then you are at loss. For example, for one day, you never progress from yesterday, and you are at loss. What about the whole year? You take an assessment of the whole year. How do you spend the whole year? And now you can make a resolution that the coming year of mine must be better than the previous year. Then you are not at loss. But your coming year is going to be worse than the previous year. Then how are you going to benefit? So you go to plan from now that the following year that is coming now, the current year we are in now, was a better year than the previous year. So you go try and make tawbah istighfar from all wrongs we did, what evil we did, whatever you stepped up, make tawbah istighfar, sincere tawbah istighfar, and then see that our next year will become a better year. And for us to understand this is very easy nowadays, when so many people passing away in our community will find. After people passing away in our community, still if we don't come to our senses, then who's more foolish than us? So we can't understand that death can come any time. For death, there's no age limit for death also. So we have to prepare ourselves that daily we have to fulfill our commands. For example, our 5 times namaz must be read daily. Most out of 5 times namaz. Read our namaz with jamaat, we get more sawab. Read namaz with jamaat, we get more sawab, we won't get. So when you come into the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you feel that happiness. You came to the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now with namaz with jamaat, we're getting 27 times more sawab than we are getting now. But du'as are being accepted more quickly in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we should try and make a resolution, no, we're going to our namaz, now with jamaat, with our namaz, 5 times namaz we are going to read. At the same time, just make a resolution that we're going to read our Quran daily also, we're going to read also. We'll keep extend the field roza, we're going to give extra. For example, in Month Muharram, it is mentioned in the hadith that a person give one roza, the sawab is equal to 1 month. So every roza you keep in the month of Muharram, you can sawab 1 month you're going to get now. And previously, what happened previously, the roza of Ashura was first, compulsory on everybody. But when Ramzan roza became first, this became optional, this became. So still there is virtue attached to the fast of Muharram also. So we could make an intention that, look, Muharram will come, the 10th of Muharram will come, we keep a roza also, inshallah. When Nabi Karim came to Medina Munawwara, and he saw the Jews were keeping roza on the 10th of Muharram, so I asked them, why are you keeping roza on the 10th of Muharram? They say, because as the Musa Islam was safe from the tyranny of Fir'aun. So Nabi said that we are more worthy to follow the Nabi of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. We must rejoice more on that, we must give rosa on that day. But because it is going to imitate the way of the Jews, Nabi said that from next year we'll keep 2 rosas, on 9th or 10th, or the 10th and 11th. So we won't be imitating them, but we will be following the way on the teaching of Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in other words. So now we could try and see that the next year of ours must be a better year than the previous year, then we are going forward in life. Try and have kitab reading in our homes daily, for example. Have kitab daily in our homes, we'll find a good environment coming into our homes. And in our homes, if we are going to make amal, draw the mercies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, definitely get mercies, precious coming down in the home. When you do actions, so they take away the mercies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the wrath of Allah will come down, then there will be shaitan coming into the house. Then we have complaints, whole time we have complaints. So rather we have to try and behave like Muslims and do things that will draw the mercies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our homes. That's when the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that we go to look after our family people and save them from the fire of Jahannam. We go to save them from them. How is that possible? Is when we have our kitab in our homes, explain them their responsibilities, that each person in our home must read our namaz punctually. Each person in the home must read our the Quran tilawat was made. Each person in the home must read our tasbihat, make zikr in our homes, have kitab reading in our homes. When do all these things, they will find the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala coming into our homes, and in that way we will benefit and save ourselves from the fire of Jahannam. Will save ourselves. Yeah, it means that each person got to look after himself, in other words. Each person look after himself and say, I'm following the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm following, imitating the way of Nabi Karim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Then what happens? Collectively, everybody at home are following the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And look at the broad aspect, you find now that now everybody in that whole area following the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and everybody in the whole area following the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we've got a good society in existence now. All are thinking correct, all are thinking the proper thing, and you know what are the responsibilities, what the result when Allah Ta'ala rahmat coming down, the whole locality of Allah rahmat will come down. You find many examples, you find, if you look at history, you'll find that those people who obeyed Allah Ta'ala's commands, they were being blessed always. Comes in hadith, one incident comes in the hadith, where one person was sitting, saw a cloud coming, and he followed the cloud, and saw the cloud went in one person's orchard, and all the rain then went away from the rain. So why is this happening? What's this happening? She found that person was a pious person. He was, because of his piety, which he should give sadaqah from his land. And because of that, Allah Ta'ala blessed him with this. The rain came on his land, and land got irrigated, and he had produce in his land. So how are we going to behave with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? That's how Allah Ta'ala is going to behave with us also. Allah is going to behave with us. So it's important to understand that we go to try and make our nature obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why Hakim Kalimullah Sahab says that must have itaat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and mustn't have baghawat, mustn't oppose Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or mustn't rebel against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have the nature of obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not to rebel against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what we could adopt. Could learn to create muhabbat with people, not to create disunity with people. That is what Islam taught us to do. That's what we got to spread in our homes, in our society, we could spread. Then inshallah Allah's rahmat coming down, and we'll benefit from the rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah give us tawfiq for understanding and practicing, inshallah. Now inshallah we're having our zikr also. It's also one of our important programs that we could make zikr. Zikr actually means to purify and cleanse your heart from all evil thoughts, all unwanted thoughts. Bring the thought of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your heart, to prepare your heart to obey the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why we make zikr. Make zikr with that intention, then you are benefiting, inshallah. Then we will read after Salatu Salam, we'll read. What does it mean? Our Hazrat used to say, Salatu Salam, every Salatu Salam is one dua. So after every Salatu Salam, we say Ameen, to be rewarded for it, you're going to be rewarded for it. So with attention, we're trying to listen to Salatu Salam, and we say Ameen on every Salatu Salam also. We'll be rewarded for that also, inshallah. Allah give us tawfiq of practicing and looking after safeguarding our iman to such a degree that when we go to Jannat, we won't have any request.